Welcome back to Dubbzi Bricks for another Gotham City update. In the last update, we were working on the docks area just here. Got all those lines put in, added some lamp posts as well to help bring the light into the docks area. And also put some in here, which I need to do on a permanent setup, basically. So there's plenty to be cracking on with in this update. I've got some ideas of what I want this to look like. So this update, I'm hoping to get a lot of details added into the docks. So without further ado, let's get the bricks out, let's get the plates out, and let's get started. And there we have the security gate and the security office all in place. Lights are all wired in there. Just need to work out what sort of design I wish to put on the roof. Next thing I'm going to do is take this building over to the table. Need to make a few amendments to it. There are some windows on the side which need to be removed. There's a door which needs to come forward, so it's in between the two pillars down the bottom there. And I'm also thinking about stretching the doors out by a couple of studs, or at least one stud each side. So yeah, just a couple of little tweaks I'm thinking about making to that building. And then also on the top there, I need to tidy that all up as well. But the main thing are the electrics in there. There's no electrics at the moment, so I need to put the other half of the magnetic connection on the bottom. So yeah, so let's take this over to the table and let's get that all sorted. And that's the doorways all widened on both sides, and I've widened them by 2 studs each. So this gap here used to be 6 studs, now it's down to the 2. On the back here, we've added this plate here, which has allowed me to build the stairs into the actual building itself. Previously, there was no way to get up to the office that's on the top, so that's that problem now sorted. Next thing I'm going to do is add the next floor, and I'm going to do away with making this modular. Previously I had this tiled off and the floor just rested on it. However, I don't think there's much necessity to do so. I've got enough room here to place things in that I want to place in there. So yeah, there's not much point in me doing that. Now with this here, I have added a Technic plate at the bottom there with the 3 holes in. That will enable me to feed the lights through to light up this bottom section here. And I think this is the first time I found a good use for my 1x1 round trans red studs. Got a load of these off the pick a brick wall, as I thought they come in good for a lava effect on a mock that I was planning on doing once upon a time. And yeah, I've never used them. So now I'm finding it perfect for actually keeping all of the cables underneath the plates here. It's nice and tidy. The lights, the cables on these lights are a lot longer than I need. So I've just wrapped them all the way around. Job done. What I need to do now is make a box to go around the connection board there, just to tidy that up. Then I can tile the floor here, put a desk in there, put a lamp on there, which is what's going to light the room up. And then that's all ready for the storytelling. And here we have the Falcone warehouse all back in place. And I just need to put some tiles of some description on the floor here, but I'm not sure what colour to go for. Also need to put a railing around the back on the stairs as well. Now, interior wise in this building here, we have put one. So we've got some money on the back counter there with a lamp that does actually work. Clock on the wall, and we've got his desk with a newspaper on there and a drawer unit around the side here. I have put a jumper plate on there as I thought it would be good to put a water machine or something like that on the top of it, but I just need to make one up. Next up, I'm going to take this building over to the table and start amending that. Need to shrink it by 1 or 2 studs. I'm probably going to leave the electrics out of this one. I don't know if I want to have it so that at night time all of these buildings are lit up. I think it could be a little bit too much. So I think I'm going to remove the connection pad from that part of the city just there. And yeah, we'll leave that one all dark. The other thing I have got to work out is whether or not I do want to have it so that Ace Chemicals has some pipes that come over the road to the docks area. If I do, then this building is going to be in the way. So again, it's just one of these things I might have to shrink this down quite considerably so that I can get some pipe work in. The other option is that I make this an Ace Chemical owned structure on the dock. So yes, just need to work out what the best thing to do is with that. And there we have the reduced size warehouse on the end here. And I've decided that I'm not going to bring the Ace Chemical pipework over to the docks here. I think it's just going to look a little bit too cluttered. So I'll make sure that I do all the pipework over on the raised platform area. I've also added a wall along the edge here with the cross sections. And that's just to separate the docks area from the Joker's Funhouse. And this is a new one. I'm actually doing some forward planning here in Gotham City. I've just started to do the water further along on this section, and remember I'm going to be having a cargo ship along here. So what I'm just going to map out the shape or the size of the cargo ship, which is I'm going to create to go on that gap. And then I'll just leave that untiled for the time being. I'm getting very low on these tiles, so the further I can make them go, the better. Also, it'd be nice not to have to put them up further down the line. And here we have the Gotham Harbour sign all in place, and I need to do some work on the light. I have just tested it. It does work, however, it's shining down too much to the ground. So you've only got a very small section of the harbour sign actually lit up there. So I'm just wondering whether or not it's worth actually having the light on there, or just have the two lampposts on either side of it like I was originally going to do. So yeah, just need to experiment a little bit with the lighting, but we'll worry about that further down the line when we start doing this section just here. And just checking in with a final update. I added a lot more details to the docks area here. We've got these wooden containers here which are using the 1x3 printed tiles. Klaus from Brickery Do Builds Lego went to Legoland recently and picked some up for me, as they weren't there when we visited a couple of months back. So massive thank you to Klaus for picking those up for me. Now this area here, so I'm going to add a small boat down the bottom, and there's going to be some crime of some description going on. Not sure what they're going to be unloading yet, whether it's weapons, drugs or whatever, but and we've got the ramp that leads up to the docks area. Now, one thing I'm really looking forward to making is the boat here. So this is pretty much the size it's going to be. It won't be much bigger. I was originally going to be using the pre-moulded hull of a boat from this Lego set just here. I picked one up recently. However, there's something about the look of it that I'm not really that keen on. So I thought if I do a brick built one, I'm sure it's going to look a little bit better. So yeah, really looking forward to that. I can't wait to start adding the minifigures to the build, and also start working on the cranes again. I need to do a lot of work to them. Need to put the cabs on them, but also I want to change the supports as well, the legs and the wheels. I don't think they look as good as they possibly could. So that's another thing that hopefully we'll be working on in the next update or two. But it's such a shame that I've run out of the trans blue tiles. It's been so nice to have got this entire area finished off. I have got the water at the other end of the city where I haven't put the wave effect in. So once I've done that, that will free up a few tiles, but it won't be nowhere near enough to complete this entire area just here. Anyway, let's turn the lights off in the room, put the lights on in the docks, and just see how it looks now. And these Gamer Bricks lights really are impressive. The quality is fantastic. The light in here is nowhere near as bright in real life as it's shown through the camera. So I really must learn how to film this in a much better way, because yeah, it's not doing it justice at the moment. But yeah, every time I switch these lights on, it just is so satisfying. I'm so glad that I've gone down the route of adding lights to the city. So yeah, again, a massive thank you to Gamer Bricks for sending the lights out to me. I'll leave a link to their website in the description. And if you use the code Dubbzi, you will get 25% off of your order, and it does help the channel as well. So yeah, check them out. You won't be disappointed. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. And if you know anybody else you think would be interested in building Gotham City in Lego, if you could share the channel with them, it'd be much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for popping on by, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.